Hey sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Today I'm going to be looking at the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1979 Topps baseball set. If you missed my previous video where I started this whole series off in looking at the 1980 Topps baseball set, the methodology that I'm using to determine the top 10 cards is I'm looking at the VCP average prices for a PSA graded copy of the card. Now, I'm not necessarily looking at the highest grade copy of that card. I decided to only look at a grade if the population of that particular grade is at least 50. And I have an example here of why I did that. So for the 1979 Topps set, Shane Rawley would come in at number 8 with an average VCP price in a PSA 10 of $5,754. And the reason why Shane Rawley's PSA 10 is worth that much is there is one PSA 10 copy of the Shane Rawley card. I'm not sure, I didn't look up when that card actually sold for that price, but I didn't want my top 10 list to be impacted by really low population, high graded cards. So again, the population of a particular grade has to be at least 50. Now, what I'm going to be doing here for the 79 Topps set, before I get into the top 10, is go over some of the ones that just missed the top 10 list. So at number 15, we have Jim Kaat in a PSA 9. And in a PSA 9, there are 54 copies. There are only 12 PSA 10s. In a PSA 9, the average VCP price is $219. At number 14 is the George Brett. Now, in a PSA 9, there are 351 graded examples at a PSA 9. There are only 15 PSA 10s. In a PSA 9, the average VCP price is $256. Just short of the top 10 list at number 13 is the Ted Simmons. Now, in a PSA 9, there are 53 current number of copies in a PSA 9. There are only 6 PSA 10s. In a PSA 9, the average price is $264. At number 12 is Paul Molitor, his second year card. In a PSA 9, there are 130 graded copies. There are only 3 PSA 10s. In a PSA 9, the current average VCP price is $274. And at number 11, just one spot off the top 10 list, is the Nolan Ryan card. In a PSA 9, there are 798 graded copies. There are only 13 PSA 10s. But in a PSA 9, the average VCP price is $280. So there are the 5 cards that just missed the top 10 list. So let's go check out which cards did make the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1979 baseball set. Coming in at number 10, we have the Pete Rose Record Breaker card. In a PSA 10, there are 95 copies, and the current average VCP price is $311. At number 9 is the all-time record holders for strikeouts, featuring Nolan Ryan and Walter Johnson. In a PSA 10, there are 129 copies, with the average VCP price of $323. At number 8 is the Pete Rose base card in a PSA 9. In a PSA 9, there's a population of 245. There are only 16 PSA 10s, but the average VCP price of a PSA 9 is $331. At number 7, we have the strikeout leaders. In a PSA 10, featuring Nolan Ryan and J.R. Richard. In a 10, there are 85 copies with the current average VCP price of $344. At number 6, we have the Joe Morgan. In a PSA 10, there are 82 PSA 10s with a current average VCP price of $392. At number 5, we have a PSA 9 of Willie Stargell. There are 65 PSA 9s. There are only 2 PSA 10s. The average VCP price of a PSA 9 is $398. At number 4, we have a Steve Garvey in a PSA 10. There's 69 PSA 10s, and the average VCP price is $412. At number 3, we have the Tom Seaver in a PSA 10. There are 71 PSA 10s. The average VCP price of those PSA 10s is $475. At number 2 is the Reggie Jackson in a PSA 10. There are 101 current copies in a PSA 10, and the average VCP price is $1,335. And I'm sure all of you guessed which card is the number 1 most valuable card from the 79 top set, and it is the Ozzie Smith rookie card. Now, in a PSA 9, there are 397 copies. There are only 5 PSA 10s, and those PSA 10s sell for 6 figures. But the current average VCP price of a PSA 9 makes it the number 1 most valuable card from the 79 top set at $2,494. Well, there you go, the top 10 most valuable baseball cards from the 1979 top set. Would love to know in the comments what you think about the cards that made the top 10 list and those 5 that just missed making the top 10 list. Next week, I'm going to be taking a look at the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1978 set. With that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.